It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity. About humanity. It's all about humanity.
What's wrong? Okay. Maybe this is gonna work. I think we have audio now. So how's everybody doing? So this was going to be the redemption stream. This is gonna be my comeback. I don't know if anybody looked. I did a community post where I posted up the video from just a little bit. I can't find my cursor now. Where's my cursor? There it is. I posted up the video of just a little bit over a year ago where I ran trains on the yard that I had installed, and it went absolutely terribly. So this was going to be my redemption. But as a joke, I said, just in case things don't work, I've got a package that we can unbox. But it was just supposed to be a joke. I was like, okay, like, you know, I could open this box up just to delay the setting of this up. So right before I was supposed to start the stream, I was getting really nervous. I'm like, this is, I was really, really concerned that I wouldn't be able to get a train to run at all behind me there. So I cheated a little bit, right? So I took and put, and now that didn't work. That didn't switch. Why didn't that switch scenes? Can someone explain that to me? Why aren't my scenes changing? What is wrong? See, the fun still continues. We're still having fun, aren't we? Otter Creek, thank you. If I could, I would do something, but nothing is working right now. And when I say nothing, I don't. I just mean that things that I want to work aren't working. Oh, it's loaded. Okay, let's see. So it thinks it's switching scenes. It's just not doing anything. A lot of them. I am using a couple different things. I am using I'm using OBS. I'm using a Stream Deck. I'm using Chrome. I've got Splashtop going because I'm accessing another computer. Not being able to get this Stream Deck working is going to be a little bit of a problem for today because, oh, I know what's wrong. I know what's wrong. Operator error. This one was operator error. See, now it works. It works fine. It works absolutely fine as long as things aren't screwed up. It works perfectly fine. So that one was for Otter Creek. I don't know where his thing went. I think it was in here. Oh, there it is. For a new video card and audio engine, that $5. So I don't know how far it'll get me. Mike from Deep Run says I will not get behind, or I will get behind that effort. Yeah, so I'm not I'm not big on the keep it simple stupid thing. I actually am. A lot of what I do is actually very simple. There's just a lot of pieces and parts that come together. So what was wrong is OBS has something called studio mode. And what it does is it gives you a preview window and a program window. I go into studio mode to open up a window, and then I'm supposed to get out of studio mode. I didn't get out of studio mode. So it was basically I was changing scenes and it was going to the preview, not the program. All right, so back to this. If things went really wrong, my plan was that I had this box to open. So I guess the question is, it's 9:30 at this point. So we're a half an hour into me not running a train. I didn't finish this story because I was, let's see, where is it right now? Let's try this camera. All right, so I was telling you a little bit of a story. I was nervous to start this stream. I was really concerned about this stream. So I was like, I have to test this. I have to see if I can get it to work. So I pulled out the locomotive I was going to use and I started running it around, and I almost immediately found a problem. So I pulled stuff out. I was climbing under the layout, fixing the problem. I think I got the problem fixed. The turnout is now throwing, I think. I think the locomotive is going to go across it. I don't know. I don't know if I am just risking, if I'm just like, I'm really trying to figure out whether I should try and run some trains and actually like test whether everything is working, or if I should just give up now and go home. I just don't know. I just don't know. One thing I do want to point out is one of my biggest problems that I have with the layout stuff is when I short something out, I don't know that I've shorted it out. So I've installed these temporary little lights. There's one here, and then there's actually one, if we look on the other side over here, there's another one here. So my goal is that should I short out the track, of course now it's not doing it. Come on, short out. Well, now of course it won't short out. But if I short out the track, theoretically that green light goes out. I guess I can just turn it off this way. Maybe, if I can find the cursor. I keep losing the cursor tonight. It's like, where is the cursor? There's the cursor, okay. So you can see the light is out now. And I can turn the light on. So that's how I know if I've shorted out the track. It's temporary, but it's there until I get things set up. So Lynn's saying don't push my luck. So I think Lynn's saying don't run trains. Yeah, I know. I need to just be able to touch stuff. Yeah, I did for a little while. I had the cursor like really, really big because I kept losing it. Okay, so do we attempt to run trains, or do I stop now? I'm setting up a poll so that we can get a so we can, you know, get a real it's been pretty crazy, hasn't it? So I do know that the train works. I can run the train. It's actually pretty amazing. There is a ton of technology going into this layout right now and into this setup. If we go over to the display share, which of course isn't working because why would it work? Why should it work? So if we come over here, this is my JMRI setup, you can see I've got this is the turnout table here, and then I got the sensor table here as well. And what the turnout table and the sensor table are doing is it's giving me the ability to throw the turnouts and have the correct colors show up. So I can switch turnouts here, and you can see them change colors. I can switch them at the layout, and this is kind of what I was working on today, was getting these getting all these sensors set up and working. And for the most part, I've been fairly successful. I definitely have some issues though that I still need to work on. So yeah, so green is, if we go back to, I think, was this it? Yeah, so just for, this isn't actually hooked up, this is the north yard, but yes, the green is straight through, and the amber or yellow is diverging. And I can actually, why, because we're live, why don't I actually edit this and just completely risk screwing everything up, because that's what I do. I actually don't think I need to go into edit mode to do this. Let's try this. Turnout options, set turnout circle size. Let's make these circles bigger. There we go. Now we can see the circles. So if I go over here now and refresh this guy, the circles get bigger, and theoretically when I change them here, so if I change, let's see, 1276, you can see them change colors over there. There's something to be said about it. Let's see, so where the poll is. So the poll is saying 90% of people with 30 votes are saying run trains. So I guess I guess that's something I should do. Yeah, Bernard, I don't know that the dust is going to settle. So it might just be complete and total chaos. I don't know that there is actually another option. Let's see. That's the camera I was looking for. So there's the train. There's the train back there. Right here is the train. The turnout that I was having trouble with was this turnout right here. So I don't know if that turnout's going to work or not work. And of course, right now it's deciding it does not want to work. So that's not good. I'm still trying to figure some of this out. I don't really understand. There's this. So now it moves. No, was that the wrong one? Nope, there we go. Now it works. Okay. So what I have the train doing right now is theoretically it's going to go from here, it's going to cross over and end up over here. Maybe. I don't know. Is this a better view? Maybe that's a better view for now. Here's the iPad. This is what I'm using to control the turnouts and everything. Let's move this way just a little bit. Sorry, Dennis. I am going to use this TCS UWT50 just because it's simple. What I kind of like is when you go over here, you can see it. If I can find the cursor, here it is. You can see in the Y throttle server, you can see when the throttle is connected, which I kind of like, which is kind of cool. I'm going to put this in yard mode. You can see I've already got, can you see? I don't know if you can see or not. I've already got 111 dialed up. So You just go, I'm in yard mode, so you just roll forward, it goes forward. You switch and you go back and it goes backwards. I love yard mode. I use it all the time. Works really well. So theoretically now this is going to hopefully not trip the breaker, which is what it was doing the whole time. So if I get lucky, it will move over there. And the thing to do, of course, is to, check that all the routes work, right? So I am now setting those two turnouts to green, and I just realized my little head's in the way. So what yard mode is? Good question. I don't know. Why do people say that? Good question. I don't know. I said it. What yard mode is, there we go, is normally the way a throttle works is the throttle's at 0, you go up, it starts moving, you go down. If you want to change direction, you hit the direction button, and then the throttle goes up and the throttle goes down. You change direction, throttle goes up, throttle goes down, right? So that's all well and good. But in yard mode, the dial on the throttle actually starts in the center. So if I want to go to the left, I just go to the left. If I want to go to the right, I just push to the right. And there's a center detent that is off. So for yard work, I am a huge fan of this. This is not the first throttle to do this. This is just the throttle that I have that does this. And when you're, when you're working a yard, for me, it's just easier to just say, oh, I want to go that way, and just go that way and not have to worry about what the direction is. Now, let's say when I go to the right, the locomotive goes to the left, right? Then you can use the direction button, and the direction button then swaps the, which way goes left and right. So one layout that I work on, you stand in kind of the middle of the yard. So when you turn around to run the tracks behind you, you switch the direction button so that it's still right. So now what we're going to do is, theoretically, if I go in this direction, it should go straight across, and I should end up on this track here. And if you notice, it didn't work. We shorted out. So this is, and I don't know, I don't really understand where this problem is coming in. So what I did is I took this, here, let's move a little bit closer. I don't know why this is happening, because what I did was I took this camera's not going to stay still. I took my multimeter and I went to every single turnout and I metered it to make sure that the frog was correct. Can you see the meter? So I don't know how well you can see the meter. I don't know. We'll see. But so if you touch the frog and then touch the other rail, you should get 14 volts. I don't know why, but I thought I did this to all of them, but now I'm finding some that are wrong. So who wants to see how easy it is to fix this problem? Because it's actually pretty easy to fix with the way I've wired everything. So yeah, so the issue that I'm having is a frog polarity issue. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, Alexa, turn on under layout lighting. And you may have noticed some some lights came on here. And let's lower this down. I don't know if I'm actually going to be able to show this, but let's see if I can. Just for the fun of it. All right, so there's a lot of wires under here. And you might be saying, how in the heck are you going to find everything to solve this problem in the next 30 seconds? So I know that this is turnout 1274. So I'm going to go under here and I'm going to identify 1274, which has a number on it, which I don't know that you can probably see, but it does. It has a number on it. The number's right here. And I'm going to follow the cable to the, this is a little hard to do with a camera in the way, but I'm going to just follow the cable off till I get to this block here. And because it's lever nuts, it is very easy to just flip up the levers. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to swap the wires on the right with the wires on the left. So I'm just pulling these out, swapping these in, and I realize I am completely blocking the camera. But, you know, I don't think we want to be here all night waiting for me to do this. So that was that, right? I just swapped it. Simple swap, straightforward swap. Let's go back to here now. And so what I just did was I switched the polarity of the frog, basically. So now, if I metered it now, which we can go back to metering it, the frog should now be correct, theoretically. And this is, you know, this is just kind of what happens with powered frogs. So now, I don't know if you can see, but it says 14.56 volts, which is now correct. So now if I go back and grab the throttle and move the train back, the train should easily run all the way across that frog without shorting out the layout. So people say, Heath, why is your wiring underneath your layout so complicated? You just saw why, because it took me what, you know, 30. If you guys weren't here, it would have taken me 30 seconds. But with everybody here, it took just a little bit longer. But now I run through that switch fine. So I'm going to need to go through every single one of these switches and make sure they're right, because obviously whoever tested all of this previously didn't do a very good job with it and messed some things up. So all I do is I have lever nuts underneath, and the lever nuts underneath are you know, are set up so that I can easily switch the frog wire. So if this is correct now, this is going to go back out onto the main line, which it does. So that was pretty good. Now we're going to come up and I've been having problems. This switch doesn't, it gets confused what direction it's in. I know that has something to do with the sensor stuff. I don't understand the sensors well enough to understand why I keep having these problems. But I am. So now if I've done this right, I should come back onto this track here without any issues. And when I say without any issues, you know, we'll see how that goes. And now I should come straight across here and go on to this track, which is theoretically my yard lead for this area of the layout. Yeah, John, you have no idea. The guy that did all this stuff. Yeah, the green light's still on, so I didn't screw it up. So what the black paint is everywhere that there are so there are LEDs in the benchwork, and there are where the throw bars go through, where the holes are for the wires, the switch wires. So what I did was I painted those black, because even when I ballast those, like this is just a hole, right? It's just a hole that goes straight through. So there's no way to really put ballast on that hole to hide the hole. So by painting it black, once I paint the rest of it, it's gonna completely disappear. Oh, Thomas, that's funny. That's really funny. So I don't know about anybody else, but I'm extremely happy that something is actually working. We should be able to go back now, and I should be able to throw this turnout. Now this is in the future. This will take me to the car float. So this will be the turn to the car float. This is the tightest radius on the layout. So being as this 6-axle behemoth can cross it, I think I'm in pretty good shape. This now, if I go back this way, this should take me into what I'm calling Riverside Yard, provided nothing shorts out. And this will take me onto track 2 in Riverside Yard. And this is just just a spur. So as much as I was nervous to do this, I gotta say it's running pretty well, all things considered. And these switch machines too, like being able to kind of, oh, actually, let's do this. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I want this. The colors on everything, for me, make it so much easier to know which way the switch is going. So I'm going into this runaround right now. The theory being that, when you're working the yard, if you need to run around a cut of cars, this would be your path to run around. I'm compared to my last attempt at a yard and having things work, this is running significantly better. So there will be bumpers. I do not have any re-railers at this point. I might put re-railers in. I'm not completely sure if I'm going to do that or not. I'm just amazed that any of this is working at all. I should be able to back up now onto track 3. Yeah, it's interesting to me. It's running. Now, I will say, this is a Kato 6-axle locomotive. I've got a couple of these Katos. They are by far some of my best running locomotives. It's just, they are very, very smooth runners. I will say the interesting thing is that I have not cleaned the track. And it's running very, very well, considering that as well. I want to kind of see, so this is my freight terminal and this is my team track. So let's see if I can get this locomotive from here over onto the freight terminal track. So to do that, I need to leave the yard and go out onto the yard lead. So I adjusted some of the turnouts to make that happen. So I'm going to get past this little crossing area here. Let's go a little bit further because I have to throw that switch. And we are going to now head back this way. So if I've done this correctly, I should end up on one of those freight terminal tracks at the far end. You can see right here. So I'm going to go straight into the freight terminal area. I'm going to take the diverging route, and then I'm going to end up on this spur over here. So the colors kind of help me figure out where I'm going. Some of this track is glued down. Some of this track is not glued down. So like the, where the switches and stuff are glued down, but like the long runs of track are not glued down yet. So I can still move stuff if I need to. Oh, so yeah. So this is one of the turnouts that I want. Yeah, I don't know. Oh, it's not moving. It's not moving. So that light was the wrong. That light was the wrong way, and that's kind of why I ended up. And is that the right one? No, that's not 1253. That's 1265. Dennis, I'm going to answer your question in 1 second. Once I can figure out where 1265 is on my list. It seems to have disappeared. Oh, there it is. 1265. So Dennis asked me, did I remove the springs? And I did. I removed all the springs on all of these. So now that turnout is thrown in the correct direction. It was incorrect. So we can switch it back, move the locomotive forward, and readjust it and head back. Yeah, track cleaning is overrated. You just got to keep running the trains. So I'm aiming for this track here. That's my goal, is to get myself there. Again, just kind of running the train over all of the various turnouts just to make sure that all the turnouts are working. I am going to need to check those down there, though, 1273 and 1274, because those were two where I had the frog wires backwards for some reason. Don't really know why. In general, I am not going to be running 6-axle locomotives on this layout. I am just doing this for testing purposes because they tend to be less finicky, I guess you can say. We're going to send it back onto that team track now. And after we go back onto this team track, let's try and get over into the this industry that's way back over. There's an industry back that way. So that seems to be working pretty well. Let's jet on forward. We are going to throw some turnouts here. So this should take me across and over into, sorry, Dennis, over onto this part here, which then I need to back up this way. So this should take me back onto the main line, which then should take me into this little cavernous cavity area over here that, yeah, I'm still having a weird thing with the, that's gonna mess up. Let me fix that. There's still some problem with, yeah, there's some problem with the sensors. And I don't really know what the issue is. What I think the issue is that I don't have any delay on the sensor. So the moment the turnout flips, the sensor flips, and I think the sensor is flipping too quickly. Oh, I think the sensor's flipping too quickly, or it's in the wrong orientation or something, and it's just not, yeah, like this one, the sensor's backwards. So 1272, I need to go here, 1272. I don't know, I had set it to inverted, I don't know. So let's see now. So now that light, which you can't see, is now lining up, and now I should be able to head into the corner. So this is going to take some fiddling, I will admit, but you know, things are, I don't know. I'm surprised. I'm surprised it's working. So if you knew, it's I'm actually I'm on a floor of offices here. So that's actually not a not somebody's apartment, but yeah. One of the things I haven't figured out yet is I've got a double slip that's over here to this side, and I need to do some thinking on that double slip. I'm also not liking the way these turnouts are set up. I think I may have screwed up. I don't know for sure. So the problem is, if I have a train coming on the main line that has not come into the yard, in order to get into the yard once it goes past, it's going to have to go all the way into this area here in order to flip around, which is okay because, hold on, I don't want it to go that way. I need it to go that way. So you can't, there's plenty of headroom here, right? So I can come in here. I've got, without going, oh, why did it stop? The light did not turn off. If I pan back, you can see the light here is still on. So I don't know why it stopped. Let's try it again. Let's see if it'll go this time. So terminal storage is in the back against the wall. This should take me onto a track that crosses over and connects with this track. All right, there we go. Now it works, so who knows why it didn't work that time. So this is actually coming across. So this is now putting me onto the yard lead. And this is just a little escape and or a little bit of extra track if we need a little bit of headroom. So I can... so this is the yard lead for both the Riverside Transfer yard, which is back that way, as well as this is kind of a track where if you need the space to push cars onto the car float, you could line up all your cars on here, run the engine around them, and get on the back side of it so you can push the cars onto the car float. So I don't know. It seems to kind of be working, I guess. So the next thing I guess I really need to do is figure out the operations scheme and get that working. This is N scale, David. Sorry, Dennis. I know. This is N scale. So we are gonna go back out onto the main line. That's a temporary piece of track out there, which is why I've got a 1, 2, 3 block holding it down. But it just allows me a little bit of run out because I haven't set that track up there. What are you doing? Running trains? I am running trains. I'm running a train, I guess you can say. It's just sort of, I'm just running a locomotive. I'm not really running, I guess, a full-on train. So the next thing I need to do is I kind of need to figure out these cameras as well, just so that I know kind of which camera is which, so I can kind of follow the trains around. I am finally having fun. Finally. Uh-oh, hold on. I don't know if you guys saw what just happened. This turnout, I had it thrown for, if you remember, I just did that runaround earlier. So that turnout was thrown against me, and I just ran right into it. But, you know, it's all part of fun and games, right? So here we go. Green light's back on. Is it going to let me throw it? It is not letting me throw it. Let's try refreshing the panel, because sometimes that'll help. So there's something going on with the sensors. I got to do more research on the JMRI sensors, because what's happening right now is the sensor thinks it's in one position, but the turnout is in a different position. And instead of it just throwing the turnout, it just kind of freaks out. So I don't know why, but that's what it's doing. I am sure that there is a solution to it. I just don't know what it is. Yeah, I just pushed it. I had to push it. I didn't have any power, and there was no way I was getting any power back the way that that train was going. Oh, so here's something funny if people want to see it. Well, at least I think it's funny. Somebody was asking me about bumpers. So I don't have bumpers, but this area, this is where all the tracks lead off the edge of the benchwork. This is the southernmost point of the layout. So I did take and clamp. This is just a piece of wood that is clamped to the benchwork. So will you be ready to do ops by August? I think the answer is yes. Maybe just on this half of the layout. Maybe on both halves of the layout. The plan moving forward from here is that I'm going to get this working. I'm going to figure out the JMRI stuff. And then while I am figuring out the ops scheme for this section, I'm going to work on the section up here in the front. So this section here will be next. So I'll have this. This is basically done, not done, but this is basically in from here to here. I'm going to go and I'm going to work this section next. And then this section, which is kind of the most complicated as far as the switch machines, will kind of be the last section that I put in here. So what I might temporarily do is just run a single track from one end of this to the other end of it, just so that we can do more ops. But yes, by August, I would say there is a 99% chance that by August I will have this section running and this section running. Whether this is running or whether there's just a temporary track connecting the two, I don't know. What is over on this side are basically 3 industrial tracks. There's 2 tracks out here in the front and 1 track there in the back. So you're not missing a lot. You're kind of just missing one other area of switching. So yeah, I mean, it's easy to get to me via train. So the green light. So that's not a good question. No, I almost said it again. I don't know. That's one of those interview things that they say, don't do that. When you're interviewing somebody, don't say, now that's a good question. And consider adding a lift bridge. No. I'll explain the lift bridge in a second. Let me talk about the I forget what I was talking about. Oh, the green lights. I don't have any circuit breakers on the layout. All I have on the layout is a booster and a command station. So when the green light that is here trips, that is just the command station tripping. There's nothing else really going on except for the command station. I don't currently have breakers. I don't know if I'm going to. Are you no longer on the list? I'll have to check. Sorry, I don't know what happened. So how did I do with my interview? You did a good job. You did a good job. So the loop. The problem with this room is the door is here, and the door swings in. I begged, borrowed, pleaded, whatever, to try and get them to flip the orientation of the door. They wouldn't do it for, obvious reasons, I guess. But it means that there's really, oh, you're not last. Yeah, you got to talk to William Bly about that. William Bly, who asked the question I'm answering right now, now has the honor. So I don't know if you saw, but I ran a switch again, so we just tripped the layout again. There was a point in time where I wanted to build the Hellgate Bridge, and the Hellgate Bridge was going to be the section here that could be pulled out and put back in. The way the layout is currently designed is this is north. This is the northernmost point of the layout. When you go this way, you're going south. So when you get down to this part of the layout, you are actually on the south part of the layout. So geographically, it doesn't really make sense for this to connect to that. And somebody else, I apologize, I don't remember who, was asking about the subway. The subway does still exist. The subway is underground. I don't have the subway running right now, but this is the subway view from the north looking south. This is from the south looking north. So the subway is still there. It's just not currently running because I've been spending 99% of my time trying to get the track work up on top running. But yeah. So trains don't go round and round. This layout, I made the decision 2 layouts ago. So this is Riverside Transfer 2.0. I made the decision for Riverside Transfer 1.0 that I was not going to have a loop. I know that that's blasphemy in some circles, but for what I want to do with model railroading, a loop just wasn't needed. It just doesn't work. What I am going to do, though, is for continuous running, the subway will be a continuous running track. So this down here, there's a station here. There is a station on this end. The train will go back and forth on there. I'm also going to look into, there's a part of JMRI called dispatcher. And with dispatcher, you can set it up using your detection blocks to essentially do a shuttle type of train as well. So I will likely look into that also so that I can have a train going back and forth, unattended on the top part of the layout. But for me, for my goals at this time, Joey's ready for a loop. And I get that. Joey's got kids. Joey's daughter loves running a train. Having the loop, is something that's important for him. For me, this is the part of my model railroading journey that I'm on. If I had a bigger layout, I would definitely consider, not a bigger layout. If I had a bigger room, I might consider, I probably wouldn't do a continuous run, like loop around the room. What I would do is probably have a hidden dog bone at either end. Real quick, I was actually thinking about it. We can open this box that's sitting here. Before we get to the box, though, I just thought I would show this. I don't know if it's blown out too much to see or not, but these are two sheets that I've been using to keep track of everything. These are all of the switches on the southern half. These are the switches here that are along the window wall. And then these are all the switches that are in the north yard. So you can see I've already basically put in more turnouts than are, on the rest of the layout. So I basically just went through this checklist, and obviously the 1272 and 3 I messed up. But I basically just said, okay, is the turnout moving? Is it moving in the right direction? Do I have frog power that's correct? Are the LEDs work? Are the LEDs correct? So I went through, figured all that out. I still need to do the double slip. Obviously need to go back and check out other stuff there. This is another page that I put together. This is all of my feedback and detection. So this does both my turnout feedback as well as the detection. I don't have any of the detection actually set up in JMRI, but all the detection is actually working. If I go and run that locomotive around, I could bring up another program that would show things that are moving around. So Bill asks an interesting question here. What about breaking in new equipment? Yes, that does kind of become a little bit of a problem in that I can't just continuously run something in one direction and then continuously run it in the other. If I really need to do that, I'll bring it to a club, or I'll set up a loop on the floor, or, something like that. Yeah, the list has really helped me keep organized, that's for sure. I do, the G scale and the O scale are still running up there. They do still work. The problem is, though, I don't think you can see it in this, but yeah, you can't see it here. There's a bunch of stuff up there. I still haven't figured out where to put some stuff. I've got more stuff than space, so there's stuff that's blocking the trains overhead. But those will be running, and those will be my my loop to loop. Yeah. If I lost these lists, I don't know. It wouldn't be the worst thing in the world, but Oh yeah, and that's true too, right? I do have the DCC Concepts Rolling Roads. I have a little programming board that I've got them all kind of organized in or whatnot. I could just use the rolling roads. I always forget about those. I've got too much stuff that I forget about things. So, yeah, holes in the wall. If I put a hole in the wall and ran into the hallway out there, I think they wouldn't be happy. And I could, Steve, I could do it in the subway. They say you should run it like forward for 15 minutes and then backwards for 15 minutes. If I ran it in the subway, it would be going forward, backwards, forward, backwards. So I don't know how, yeah, I don't know how effective that really is. So people were asking what's in the box. I would say, I don't know, I don't think we need to vote, but I would say that this experiment back here actually went pretty well. There is some stuff I need to work on back here, but I don't know. I mean, despite the fact that I couldn't get this stream started, so I reinstalled the video driver and reinstalled OBS just to get tonight's stream going. So yeah, I think I'm redeeming myself with this layout. I've got a lot more to do. But we're getting there. Andy, a step, if you were still here, there is a little bit of brass rod work in this section right here, and I am definitely going to be calling you to help me with the bending and installing of the brass rods. If you don't know, that's part of Andy's job is that. So yeah, I think it. I was really nervous. I can't begin to tell you just how nervous I was about this. So let's get out one of these tools and let's open this up as the final event of the evening. This should go pretty. This will hopefully go pretty flawlessly. I'm just going to say what is in here, and then we'll get into what is specifically in here. There is a company that I have really been enjoying getting stuff from. They are called, I forget what they're called. It's Arizona something or other. Arizona Model Railroad Books. So it's a bookstore. So Arizona Hobbies is what it is. And I have been getting a lot of my books from them lately. They have the books that you can't find anywhere else and at a good price. If you do decide to check them out and buy a book from them, just, if you would, tell them that you heard about them from me. I have gotten a couple things from them, but yeah. So no, not Arizona Rock and Mineral. It's this guy here, Arizona Books. So I forget who had it, but I saw this book posted on, I think, Facebook or something, and I went searching for it. You can see these guys pack stuff pretty well. Once I decide to purchase one item, I generally start looking around for other items. It doesn't make the one item any cheaper, but it does make sort of shipping and everything palatable. So I actually have a lot of ballast. I don't know why, but back when I was doing my last layout, I ended up buying more than enough ballast, not only for an N scale layout, but for an HO scale layout. And anyway, I like, one of the things I like are New York Central pacemaker cars. My Riverside transfer cars are going to be designed in that image of the pacemaker, which is New York Central's version of the fast freight. If you don't know, there are other railroads, like the Cotton Belt has their blue plate special. What is it called? Blue Streak. Sorry. The Cotton Belt has Blue Streak, and the Pennsylvania Railroad has this whole series of these merchants dispatch type of things. That's not the one that's on the picture. There is one of the reefers. I'm trying to, I don't know where it is. It's up there, but it's just a series of, oh, actually this says New York Central, but there were Pennsylvania Railroad, New York Central railroads, part of American Express, became an independent part of New York. So yeah, anyway, I'm really into this type of like boxcars and all this kind of stuff and whatnot. So someone posted this on Facebook. I decided that I wanted to get the book, so that's one of the books. I also have, you know, other books along the same vein as that. This is just one of them, but this is, you know, billboard refrigerator cars. So I like these types of books. And while I was ordering stuff from them, there is this series called Trackside. I forget who to put these out. I don't even know who put these out. Oh, Morning Sun Books put them out. So it's this whole Trackside series. So this one is Trackside on the New York Central, Road to the Future. You know, I mean, just some cool stuff. And then this is Trackside around New York City from 1953 to 1968. And the story of my layout is that in 1968, my railroad company purchased a bunch of New York Central rolling stock from them to keep the car floats going a little bit longer. So I got this book because I think it'll have some really cool pictures. Yeah, Russ, I do think I do want to make sure that everything is running well before I get into like ballasting everything down and whatnot. But I don't know. I think I want to lay all of the track first on the north side of the layout. Yeah, see, Sparky, I'm going to bid against Conrail, and I'm going to keep Conrail out of New York City, and my railroad is going to own the trackage in New York City, not Conrail. I'm just kidding. I don't, whatever. So I think I think just keep testing this section of the layout here while I build the track on this section. Then once I'm done with the track here, I'll work on the track on this side, although I might start doing some scenery and stuff down here. We'll see. I've got a couple things, happening as well. I have some Conrail stuff. I'm a little bit of I'm going to run at anything on my layout. I'm not really being too specific about it. But yeah, and yeah, I mean, I definitely need to test. Part of my thought is that ballasting the track, if you're just using white glue, you can just spray it down and remove it. I posted some pictures. There was a turnout, actually the turnout that's right here. This turnout right here was giving me trouble, and I had to swap this turnout out, and the ends of it are glued down, and it's white glue. I got out my favorite little spray bottle. These are fantastic spray bottles. Get one of these. I don't know if you can see that, but do you see the mist that comes out of them? These are incredible spray bottles. So this one's just water. I've got another one that's like wet water and whatnot. But I just sprayed it down a little bit, let it sit for a couple minutes, and then it just, pulled right up because it was white glue. The plan for the desk. I think people, is it this camera? No. Okay. So it's a little messy on this side of the room. Please forgive me. What I'm currently doing is, you can see that TV table that's right there. So my current desk is that TV table comes out and it sits right here in front of this monitor. And these two monitors are both connected to this computer and connected to my work computer. So I have a wireless keyboard and mouse that sit on the TV table. And these monitors are what I do my work on. So Sparky is asking for an Amazon link to that spray bottle. Let me see if I can find it with relative speed. They come in various different sizes. The version I just showed there is the 5-ounce version. Spray bottle. So there is that 5-ounce version. There are also, I'm showing my best side, I know. There are also bigger ones as well that I have. Like this one is my wet water one. So you can get different size bottles. But the link that I just posted is the link to the small one. And that one, through, if you follow that link, you should probably be able to find the bigger one. I just happened to, oh, here we go. Here is the bigger one. It looks like actually the smaller one that I got seems to be a different brand maybe from the bigger bottle, but bigger spray bottle. But these are fantastic spray bottles. The mist, I'm spraying the wet water one. I shouldn't spray that one. This one's just water. But the mist that this thing puts out is just, if you want something that's not going to blow your ballast all over your layout, fantastic. Yeah, I do not have a house and a yard to take care of. I'm just the opposite myself. I concentrate too much on scenery. I don't run trains much, but I'm still having fun. I feel like there are a lot of people that really enjoy the scenery part of the hobby, and that for them, that is a major part of this hobby, and it's the major part of what they enjoy about this hobby. For me, I'm into the electronics, and I've gotten really into the operations side of things. So that's a little bit what I'm focusing on here. So next steps, tweak this, get the testing done, get all of the the switches and the feedback and everything working down here. I need to start cleaning up this section here so that I can start laying the track in this section here. Once I get this section done, I can put a lot of cars on the layout just to start really looking into, looking at my, my inventory. I've been inventorying all this stuff, so everything from here over is inventoried, and I need to now turn all of that into car cards and waybills, and get things operating. So I gotta say, this stream was quite the adventure. I really appreciate those of you that stuck around for the first 25 minutes where I fought with my computer and just really struggled to get things going. So I am really glad I was able to pretty flawlessly outside of that one turnout that I had to flip those wires, and you saw that the pre-wiring that I did made that, you know, very simple. So I'm very happy with how things are going. I hope you enjoyed the adventure. I know it's definitely been one for me, and I don't know, soon there's going to be a full layout going on. Very, 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 very soon. From the city that never sleeps, farewell, model citizens.
It's all about humanity.